Today, the subcommittee will hold a hearing to discuss the lack of affordable housing in many communities across the country. In particular, we will examine governmental barriers as well as market-based solutions to bring down the cost of housing. Americans spend more on housing than any other household expense, representing 33% of a family's budget. Historically. Families in many areas of the country would love to get back to that level. The rise in both home prices and rents has far exceeded the rate of wage growth. So in Cincinnati, Ohio, a city once considered affordable, the median home price is now $270,000, which is approaching 4 times the annual median household income. Such unaffordability is spreading far beyond parts of the country known for their high cost of living, like New York, San Francisco, Washington, D.C. Nationwide, median home prices are now nearly 6 times the median household income, where historically the advice was stay 3 times. So this is maybe one of the most emblematic markers on the lack of affordable housing. So that's why the committee has held multiple affordability hearings last spring on President Biden's misguided policy of increasing mortgage costs on credit-worthy borrowers. That idea was an insult to affordability. The House responded by passing our Middle Class Borrower Protection Act to eliminate harmful costs, though the Senate has so far failed to act. The rental market is facing similar challenges. Renters are now more cost burdened than they've been in over 2 decades. While rents have gone up in some areas by double-digit growth, median income for renter households actually went down between 2019 and 2021. For many, housing has becoming unattainable across the country. 1 in 3 young adults, age 18 to 34, still live with parents. This impacts their ability to start a family, build wealth, and contribute more intentionally to the national economy. Seniors, too, with fixed incomes and the burden of increasing healthcare costs, are even more cost burdened than ever when it comes to housing. In rural areas where land is abundant, price pressures still exist, such as cost increases to rent and build manufactured or modular homes. As we confront these affordability challenges, what seems to get left out of the conversation is that all of the expansive efforts of government have not solved this problem. In fact, they've added to it. The solutions we need are market-based solutions where we remove government barriers to construction of housing and encourage greater private sector investment in housing. Of course, many of my colleagues on the other side of the aisle in particular will likely see things differently and suggest that we have more government, more rules, and more spending. Maybe that's their measure of success. I hope we focus on affordability. These solutions have been pushed for years, and interesting, they are the same affordability crisis they decry continues to get worse. So not only have those policies failed, but it seems the Biden administration wants to avoid congressional accountability for the failure of their policies and oversight. Case in point, for almost a year now, the committee has requested that the Housing and Urban Development Secretary, Marcia Fudge, appear to discuss the Biden administration's housing affordability plan. In fact, since May, the committee has offered at least every month that the secretary make an appearance here, only to have her repeatedly decline to testify or outright refuse to respond to numerous requests. Silence is a poor response to a crisis. The American people deserve greater transparency in how their government operates, especially when it has to do with their ability to afford housing. Ensuring accountability is one of the fundamental purposes of this committee, and I hope that the Secretary will finally agree to appear before our committee next year. In the meantime, even without the administration's input, the committee will continue to explore how government policies are contributing to the high cost of housing and what private sector efforts can do to address the critical issue for those most in need.